What's good with YouTube? You already know. Big Flocka with a comics reaction where we smash, dash, and react. Please hit the like and subscribe button as well as the bell notification for future comic reactions. So check it out, man. We're gonna be talking about East Palo Alto in the 1990s when it was labeled the murder capital of the United States at that time. From around 1988 to about 1995, man, even up to current times, right? They've always had a lot of murders in such a small town. And what makes this kind of interesting, right, is East Palo Alto, population 24,000, give or take, right? Will have the amount of murders that it used to have back in the days, right? But the thing that makes it even more interesting is the things that are surrounding it. Before Facebook and Google moved into the area, you had Stanford University that I could sit there and tell you guys maybe it's 3 miles or less away from the city of East Palo Alto. What separates East Palo Alto is basically a freeway. On one side, you have the Palo Alto side, the ritzy side, the rich side, and all that. Other side, you have East Palo Alto, which is more the hood. Okay, as a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s, there was two small cities in the Bay Area that you did not want to go to, that did not play around. That was East Palo Alto and that was Richmond. Okay, those towns have both been as the most what do you call the highest murder rate at one time or another in this nation's history. They both have had that type of murders out there, man. And see, this was an era when East Palo Alto was recognized for all these homicides was around 1992. This is right at the start and at the basically the end of the crack epidemic, man. And there's a whole lot of reasons why there were so many murders. A lot of it has to do with drug territory. You know, East Palo Alto was a little bit different than places like San Francisco and Oakland, who have traditional neighborhoods that are set up shop. At this time when the crack epidemic blew up, they was out there fighting for areas. You had blacks out there, you had Pacific Islanders, and then at that time you had a small percentage of Hispanic. Now it's changed. Now the town is majority Hispanic now. Okay, now look at that murder rate right there. Okay, 19 and 90, 89, 19, 22, 20, 42. Even up to until 2008, they're still having about 5 to 15 murders a year. Only twice you see as 96 and 2000 where they only had one murder. Now this is in a city that's the population of 24,000. So let's look at this. Even when they have a low year of 5, right? And they're 24,000, right? You multiply that times 20, that's 500,000. That's not even as big as San Francisco. You still have 100 murders right there if it was to duplicate. San Francisco doesn't even reach 100 murders every year. That goes to tell you the type of crime that goes on in East Palo Alto. Like I said, it's a whole different environment. It's small. It's pretty much traditionally there's been so much funk and issues that have occurred out there. You know what I mean? That people don't realize that it's just generational. Like there's certain terms that you can go to East Palo Alto, you can understand where one's from. Like a lot of people used to think they were Bloods because they used to use the word blood or rogue. Those were East Palo Alto word. You know what I mean? You had the PLR, Palo Alto Lowriders. You had all kinds of different little crews back then. Sack Street, all these different hoods. Now I'm not as familiarized as other people are when it comes to East Palo Alto, but I will tell you this: they have long been one of the most recognized crime cities in the Bay Area. Even though the crime rate has pretty much dipped compared to back then to now, man, I could sit there and tell you guys my reaction to this as a convict's reaction, man, is the video I'm going to be playing right now. It sums it up how it was out there back during that time era. And what you guys don't realize, man, this was a town that you did not want to go into back in the days. You know, I know one or two people I know personally that went out there, got jacked, and got murdered back in the 90s. It's a town that you didn't play around in. You know what I'm saying? So here's a video that pretty much sums it up, man. You know, convict's reaction is that, hey, man, you know, the city's changed. It's become a little bit more upscale businesses have moved in since Facebook and Google have moved in over there. But it's still not a town to sleep on, man. A lot of stuff still goes on out there, man. But at least the community has tried to stand up out there and do the greater good. This is an area that the homie Hangout worked in, man. So he has a lot more information on it, man. But this is a lot right here. Tap in, enjoy this video.
Now, coming up next tonight Eye on America. We'll be taking you to the most dangerous neighborhood in the country. America, one nation with tens of thousands of neighborhoods, some good, some bad. And if you were to point at one of the bad neighborhoods and ask how it got that way, you might find the people there pointing right back at you. John Blackstone reports tonight's Eye on America.
Once you know where your plan is, then you know where you're going to plant everything.
Protecting young life can sometimes be such a challenge.
Bill Clinton could hire some more cops and get more ammunition.
These children live in a city so dangerous, the superintendent of schools made a shocking proposal. Buy burial insurance for every child in town.
Yes, it is painful. But it's a painful reality.
He was shot right here and he died. It was a 14-year-old boy, he died.
This is the most dangerous neighborhood in America. Not Washington, D.C. or Detroit or Los Angeles, but a small California town, East Palo Alto.
This is the murder capital of the state. We've got to get more help in here.
The school superintendent knows what life is like on the wrong side of town.
Well, the experience is one of shame, that we could allow this to occur in the midst of affluence.
It's like, well, we don't want it next door to us, so we'll dump it in East Palo Alto. The rich got richer. I mean, particularly under the Reagan Bush, the rich got richer and the poor got poorer. And the disparity causes a lot of stress, and it also builds up a lot of hostility.
Oh, Heavenly Father, we ask you to bless our efforts, that our being here will not be in vain.
Amen. In every city in America, there's a place where trouble gathers.
Local dealers, this is their territory, so they saw us coming and walked away.
The bad part of town serves a purpose. It keeps the trouble all in one place.
And I hope I motivated your day, and you too with your camera.
A place good folks can be careful to avoid. Unless, of course, they happen to live there.
How come you ain't write down my license plate?
I got your picture. I don't need your license plate number. Now, I want to live in an area that's well-groomed, and you don't have to worry about someone selling drugs or someone shooting at someone. That's our dream. That's what we're out here for.
Drugs are just about the only thing there is to buy in East Palo Alto. One McDonald's is virtually the only commercial development in 20 years.
And I know it takes time, but how much time do we need?
Political gridlock on the city council gets part of the blame for scaring developers away.
I would declare the city a state of local emergency.
Listen, I'll show you how to plant them.
But just because economic development has lagged so badly, some say East Palo Alto offers promise.
While everything in Silicon Valley got paved over with commercial buildings, East Palo Alto was ignored by developers, so it was allowed to preserve its agricultural heritage. We are the last, and very often, as they say, the last shall be the first.
Solutions might come faster, people here say, if America remembers the problems on the bad side of town belong to everyone, not just those who live there. In East Palo Alto, this is John Blackstone for Eye on America.